In this video, I'm about to share something with you that contradicts almost everything you've been told about male enhancement and blood flow optimization. You've probably spent years, maybe even decades, hearing about zinc. Take zinc for this, take zinc for that. And while zinc has its place, I'm going to introduce you to something that works on a completely different level, something that addresses the fundamental mechanisms of tissue growth and vascular expansion in ways that zinc simply cannot. I'm Dr. Sophia Carter, and what I'm about to reveal comes from both cutting-edge research and observations I've made in my own practice that have genuinely surprised me. We're talking about a vitamin that comes in powder form, that can be mixed into water or juice, and that has the unique ability to support both immediate blood flow and long-term tissue development. Not through some magical mechanism, but through well-understood biochemical pathways that most doctors simply never discuss with their patients. This isn't about temporary effects that disappear the moment you stop taking something. This is about creating the conditions in your body where healthy tissue expansion can actually occur, where blood vessels can dilate properly, and where the structures responsible for size and rigidity can function at their absolute peak. If you've been frustrated by supplements that promise everything and deliver nothing, stay with me. What you're about to learn could fundamentally change your understanding of what's actually possible. Before I reveal which vitamin powder I'm talking about, I need you to understand something critical about how tissue growth and blood flow actually work in the male anatomy. The size and rigidity that you experience isn't just about blood flow, although blood flow is obviously essential. It's about the capacity of the tissue to expand, the health of the smooth muscle cells that line the chambers, the elasticity of the connective tissue, and the ability of blood vessels to dilate when signals tell them to. Think of it like a balloon. You can blow air into a balloon, which is analogous to blood flow, but the size that balloon achieves depends on the elasticity and expandability of the rubber itself. If the rubber is stiff, degraded, or lacks the proper structural components, it doesn't matter how much air you try to force in. It won't expand properly. As men age, several things happen at the tissue level that compromise both immediate function and overall capacity. The smooth muscle cells that allow for expansion begin to be replaced by collagen and fibrous tissue, a process called fibrosis. The blood vessels become less responsive to the signals that tell them to dilate. The connective tissue loses elasticity, and the cells responsible for maintaining and repairing these structures become less active. This is where the vitamin I'm about to discuss becomes absolutely crucial. It's involved in multiple pathways that directly address each of these degenerative processes. And when taken in powder form at appropriate doses, it can create measurable changes in tissue quality and vascular function. The vitamin I'm talking about is vitamin C. And I can already sense your skepticism. Vitamin C? Really? The same vitamin your mother told you to take for colds? Yes, that vitamin C. But what I'm about to explain will show you why vitamin C, when used correctly and in adequate amounts, is one of the most powerful tools available for optimizing male vascular and tissue health. Vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid, is required for the synthesis of collagen. Now, when I mentioned fibrosis earlier as a negative process, I was talking about excessive, disorganized collagen replacing healthy, smooth muscle. But collagen itself isn't the enemy. Healthy, properly structured collagen is essential for tissue integrity and elasticity. It's the scaffolding that gives tissues their form and strength. The problem with aging male tissue isn't just too much collagen. It's the wrong kind of collagen in the wrong places, combined with inadequate collagen in the structures that need it for healthy elasticity. Vitamin C allows your body to produce properly structured collagen that maintains tissue integrity while preserving elasticity and expandability. Here's where it gets really interesting. Vitamin C is also required for the synthesis of something called elastin, another protein that is absolutely critical for tissue expandability. Elastin is what allows tissues to stretch and return to their original shape. Without adequate elastin, tissues become rigid and unable to expand properly. And without adequate vitamin C, your body cannot produce new elastin to replace what degrades over time. But vitamin C's effects go far beyond structural proteins. It's also a powerful antioxidant that protects the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels. These cells are responsible for producing nitric oxide, that critical signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and dilate. When endothelial cells are damaged by oxidative stress, nitric oxide production plummets. Vitamin C protects these cells and actually enhances their ability to produce nitric oxide. Vitamin C also plays a direct role in preserving the nitric oxide that gets produced. Nitric oxide is an unstable molecule that gets rapidly broken down by free radicals. Vitamin C neutralizes these free radicals, allowing nitric oxide to remain active longer and exert its vascular effects more effectively. Let me explain why the powder form of vitamin C is particularly advantageous for this purpose. Vitamin C is water-soluble, which means it isn't stored in your body to any significant degree. What you don't use relatively quickly gets excreted in your urine. This is very different from fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, which accumulate in your tissues over time. Because of this rapid turnover, maintaining elevated vitamin C levels in your blood and tissues requires either frequent dosing throughout the day or taking larger amounts that can sustain levels for longer periods. Powder form makes this practical in a way that pills often don't. With vitamin C powder, you can easily adjust your dose, take larger amounts when needed, and spread doses throughout the day by mixing the powder into beverages. Many men find that taking divided doses, perhaps morning, midday, and evening, maintains more consistent blood levels than a single large dose taken once daily. The powder form also tends to be more economical than capsules or tablets when you're taking the therapeutic doses that produce meaningful results for vascular and tissue health. We're not talking about the minimal amounts found in a typical multivitamin. We're talking about doses that are 5 to 20 times higher, amounts that require taking handfuls of pills or simple spoonfuls of powder. Different forms of vitamin C powder are available, and they have different properties worth understanding. Pure ascorbic acid powder is the most common and economical form. It has an acidic taste and can be mixed into juice or water. Some people find the acidity bothers their stomach, particularly at higher doses. If you experience digestive discomfort, taking it with food can help. Sodium ascorbate is a buffered form that's less acidic and gentler on the stomach. The sodium content is modest, but may be a consideration for those monitoring sodium intake carefully. This form dissolves easily and has a relatively neutral taste. Calcium ascorbate is another buffered form that provides both vitamin C and calcium. This can be advantageous because calcium is involved in muscle contraction and vascular tone. However, like sodium ascorbate, you need to be aware of the mineral content if you're taking larger doses. Liposomal vitamin C represents a more advanced technology where the vitamin C is encapsulated in tiny fat bubbles that enhance absorption. This form is more expensive, but may allow for better tissue penetration and sustained blood levels. Some research suggests that liposomal forms can achieve higher intracellular concentrations. Now let's discuss appropriate dosing for vascular and tissue optimization, because this is where most people go wrong. The standard recommended daily amount for vitamin C in most countries is quite low, typically around 75 to 90 milligrams for adults. This amount is sufficient to prevent scurvy, the deficiency disease associated with vitamin C lack. But preventing scurvy and optimizing tissue health are entirely different goals. Research on vascular health, immune function, and tissue repair suggests that optimal intake is considerably higher than these baseline recommendations. Studies examining vitamin C's effects on endothelial function, blood flow, and arterial stiffness typically use doses ranging from 500 milligrams to several thousand milligrams daily. For supporting male vascular and tissue health, many practitioners recommend starting with around 1,000 milligrams taken 2 to 3 times daily, for a total daily intake of 2 to 3,000 milligrams. This is well within the range shown to be safe in numerous studies and provides enough vitamin C to meaningfully impact the biochemical pathways we've been discussing. Some men find benefit from even higher doses, up to 5 to 10,000 milligrams daily, particularly when addressing existing vascular concerns. At these higher intakes, the primary limiting factor is typically digestive tolerance. Vitamin C in high doses can cause loose stools, which is actually used as a way to determine individual tolerance. You increase the dose gradually until you reach bowel tolerance, then back off slightly to the highest comfortable dose. The beauty of vitamin C is that it's remarkably safe even at high doses. Because it's water-soluble, excess amounts are simply excreted rather than accumulating to toxic levels. The main concerns are digestive discomfort and, in susceptible individuals, potential kidney stone formation at very high chronic doses. Let me explain the connection between vitamin C and actual measurable changes in tissue dimensions, because this is what many men are most curious about. Tissue growth and expansion depend on cell proliferation, the laying down of structural proteins, and the development of supporting blood vessels. All of these processes are vitamin C dependent. When vitamin C is deficient or suboptimal, these processes slow or stop. The smooth muscle cells that line the chambers of the male anatomy can only maintain their health and, under the right conditions, increase in number when adequate vitamin C is available. These cells require vitamin C not just for collagen production, but also for their basic metabolic functions and ability to respond to growth signals. New blood vessel formation, called angiogenesis, is crucial for supporting tissue growth and ensuring adequate circulation to all areas. Vitamin C is required for the formation of the collagen-based structures that give new blood vessels their form. Without adequate vitamin C, angiogenesis is impaired. The extracellular matrix, the network of proteins and other molecules that surround and support cells, depends heavily on properly structured collagen and elastin. This matrix determines the expandability and resilience of tissues. Vitamin C deficiency leads to a degraded, poorly organized matrix that cannot support healthy tissue function or growth. Now, I want to be realistic. Taking vitamin C isn't going to add inches overnight. Tissue changes occur gradually over weeks and months, not days. But by ensuring that your body has the raw materials needed for healthy tissue maintenance and development, you create the conditions where improvements can occur. Many men report that after several months of consistent vitamin C supplementation at therapeutic doses, they notice improvements in tissue quality, fullness, and even measurable increases in dimensions. These changes reflect the cumulative effects of improved collagen and elastin synthesis, better vascular support, and healthier cellular function throughout the tissues. Vitamin C works synergistically with several other compounds that can be combined in powder form to enhance results. L-arginine is an amino acid that serves as the direct precursor to nitric oxide. Your body converts arginine into nitric oxide through enzymatic processes that require adequate oxygen and various cofactors. Many men combine arginine powder with vitamin C powder to support both nitric oxide production and the preservation of the nitric oxide produced. The two work together beautifully. L-citrulline is another amino acid that converts to arginine in the body. Interestingly, citrulline supplementation often produces higher and more sustained arginine levels than taking arginine directly, because citrulline bypasses first-pass metabolism in the liver. Citrulline powder combined with vitamin C creates a powerful one-two punch for supporting vascular function. Pine bark extract powder, rich in compounds called proanthocyanidins, has been shown to enhance nitric oxide production and improve endothelial function. It works synergistically with vitamin C, with each compound enhancing the effects of the other. Some studies have specifically examined the combination of pine bark extract and arginine for male vascular health, with promising results. Beetroot powder is extraordinarily rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts to nitric oxide through a pathway that's different from the arginine pathway. By supporting nitric oxide production through two different mechanisms, you create redundancy that ensures adequate nitric oxide availability even if one pathway is compromised. Pomegranate powder contains numerous polyphenol and other compounds that support vascular health. Research has shown that pomegranate can enhance nitric oxide bioavailability and improve blood flow to various tissues. Combined with vitamin C, it provides comprehensive antioxidant protection for vascular tissues. Grapeseed extract powder is another rich source of proanthocyanidins with demonstrated effects on vascular function. It helps protect endothelial cells, supports healthy blood pressure, and enhances the elasticity of blood vessels. Let me share some important information about timing and method of consumption to maximize results. Taking vitamin C on an empty stomach allows for more rapid absorption, which can be advantageous when you want to quickly elevate blood levels. However, as mentioned earlier, some people find this causes digestive discomfort. Taking it with a small amount of food can mitigate this issue without significantly compromising absorption. Dividing your total daily dose into multiple smaller doses throughout the day maintains more stable blood levels than taking everything at once. Because vitamin C is water-soluble and rapidly excreted, this divided dosing strategy ensures that your tissues have consistent access to adequate amounts. Mixing vitamin C powder into cold or room temperature beverages is preferable to hot liquids, as heat can degrade vitamin C. Citrus juices work well both for taste compatibility and because they contain their own vitamin C and flavonoids that may enhance the effects of supplemental vitamin C. Some men prefer to take their vitamin C mixture about 30 to 60 minutes before periods when they want optimal blood flow and function. This timing allows the vitamin C and any synergistic compounds you're taking with it to be absorbed and begin exerting their effects. Consistency is crucial. You won't see significant tissue changes from sporadic use. Committing to daily supplementation for at least 3 to 6 months provides enough time for the cumulative benefits to manifest. The structural changes in tissues that we've been discussing occur gradually as old, damaged proteins are replaced with new, properly formed ones. I want to address the question of why vitamin C specifically has advantages over other vitamins for this purpose. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects tissues from oxidative damage. It's particularly important for protecting the fatty membranes that surround cells. However, vitamin E doesn't have the direct effects on collagen and elastin synthesis that vitamin C provides. Both vitamins are valuable, but they work through different mechanisms. The vitamins, particularly B3 or niacin, have been studied for their effects on blood flow. Niacin causes a flushing effect as blood vessels dilate, and it has favorable effects on cholesterol. However, the structural support for tissues that vitamin C provides through collagen and elastin synthesis isn't replicated by B vitamins. Vitamin A is important for cell differentiation and the maintenance of epithelial tissues. It plays roles in reproduction and hormonal health. But again, it doesn't directly support the structural proteins and vascular function in the way vitamin C does. Vitamin D, which we've discussed in other contexts for its hormonal effects, is crucial for numerous aspects of health, but doesn't directly impact collagen synthesis or immediate vascular function the way vitamin C does. What makes vitamin C unique is its combination of effects. It supports structural protein synthesis, protects vascular tissues from oxidative damage, enhances nitric oxide production and stability, and supports the health of the cells responsible for tissue maintenance and repair. This multi-targeted action is why it's so effective for the specific goals we're discussing. Let me discuss some additional considerations that can enhance your results with vitamin C supplementation. Copper is required for several of the enzymes involved in collagen and elastin cross-linking, the process that gives these proteins their strength and elasticity. Without adequate copper, the collagen and elastin produced with vitamin C support won't be properly structured. Most people get adequate copper from food, but it's worth ensuring your intake is sufficient, particularly if taking very high doses of vitamin C, which can potentially interfere with copper absorption. Lysine and proline are amino acids that are direct building blocks of collagen. Ensuring adequate intake of these amino acids alongside vitamin C provides your body with all the raw materials needed for collagen synthesis. Some vitamin C powders include these amino acids specifically for this synergistic effect. Hyaluronic acid is another compound involved in tissue structure and hydration. It helps maintain the spaces between cells and contributes to tissue volume and plumpness. Some men combine hyaluronic acid powder with vitamin C powder for comprehensive tissue support. Silica, often derived from bamboo extract or horsetail herb, supports connective tissue health and works alongside vitamin C in maintaining tissue integrity. It's particularly important for the health of blood vessel walls. What kind of timeline should you expect for seeing results from vitamin C supplementation? In the first few weeks, many men notice improvements in the quality and consistency of their vascular response. Blood flow may seem more robust, and the tissue may feel fuller and more vital. These early changes reflect improved endothelial function and nitric oxide availability rather than structural changes. Over the course of 2 to 3 months, more substantial changes often become apparent. The tissue may feel firmer and healthier. Dimensions during full engorgement may increase modestly as the tissues become better able to expand and accommodate blood flow. These changes reflect the cumulative effects of improved collagen and elastin synthesis. At the 4 to 6 month mark, men who have been consistent with their supplementation often report the most significant improvements. Measurements may show increases that reflect both better blood flow and actual tissue development. The quality of the tissue, its resilience and responsiveness, typically shows marked improvement. It's important to understand that individual results vary based on starting condition, age, overall health status, and consistency of supplementation. Younger men with relatively healthy tissues may see changes more quickly than older men with more degraded tissues. But even men in their 60s and 70s can experience meaningful improvements with adequate time and consistency. Gentlemen, the power of vitamin C for supporting male vascular and tissue health is backed by decades of research and biochemical understanding. It's not exotic, it's not expensive, and it doesn't require a prescription. But when used correctly, in adequate amounts, with proper consistency, it provides support for the fundamental processes that determine tissue quality, blood flow, and capacity. This is one of those rare cases where something simple, accessible, and safe also happens to be genuinely effective. The key is understanding how to use it properly and committing to the consistent practice required to see meaningful results. I'm Dr. Sophia Carter. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and here's to your optimal health and vitality.